that was a pretty neat thing what those kids did out there. They gave me a card that was signed by a bunch of kids sharing their condolences over the loss of Coach Smith, and gave me also the poster, not poster, but the banner that they held up before the game. And you know, college athletics is not all bad. There's some darn good things that go on there. And I told those kids that I would keep those. They will never be tossed. I will always have those. But it has been a tough week. Had nothing to do with the game today. Pittsburgh played fantastic. Jamie's club was so much more prepared, well prepared than we were. They shot the ball better than they shot it all year long. Our defense really helped them do that, but you have to give them the credit for making the shots. It was a weird game. I was not concerned at all when it was 10-2 or 10-0, whatever it was, because I've never lost a game in the first 3 minutes of a game. And I know we got it tied 2 or 3 times, and then we went and had another dry spell, and they made a bunch of shots. I think they made more threes in the first half than they have in any of their average for the year. But we helped them because we didn't guard them very effectively. Their looks were open looks, and still you don't have to make them all, but they made a bunch of shots, and they should be congratulated for that. You look at the 25 assists, 4 turnovers for us, shoot 49%, out-rebound, particularly in the second half, I think. So you'd think that that would be a win for us. But they were sensational shooting the ball, and you look down and their assist-to-error ratio was 30-5. I thought Cameron Wright was sensational for them, and I know he missed a couple of free throws there at the end, but I thought he was sensational, and I had no idea he was going to end up 10-0 in assist-to-error ratio. But the best team won the game today, and I'm very disappointed. Even in the first play of the game, we standing there flat-footed, and they make a nice play and steal the tap and lay it up. I mean, it's just, we have a guy back as defensive safety. You shouldn't have those kind of things happen, but that's coach's fault. They were so much more aggressive than us early and so much more positive than everything we did. And then, like I say, we got it tied or something. I don't think we ever had the lead, but I think we had it tied a couple of times. And then they went on a tremendous run again. Early in the second half, I thought it was still any man's ball game, and they make their first 7 shots. So am I disappointed and upset with my team? In several ways, yes. But I think you also have to understand that Pittsburgh had a lot to do with the outcome of the game.
When a team's shooting that well,
you can guard them better, Andrew. I mean, Justin Jackson really got a hand up right in the guy's face right in front of their bench early in the second half, and it might have been their 7th out of 7 in a row. And that's the first one that we really did a nice job of guarding. So, you know, there was a timeout right then, and I just told our club, I said, if they're making shots like that, I can live with that. I mean, even their first or second possession, we've got the guy almost in a double team on the block, and he steps, and we jump up in the air. And there's no reason to do that. And all of a sudden now he's got an open layup. So what you can do is guard them better. And then I really believe that the better you guard them, the less likely that they're going to shoot 65% for the game.
What kind of things did Pitt do today to sort of shut down Paige?
I think that James is really good defensively. I think Cameron's really good defensively. I think the big guys, when they're big guys, when our big guys set a screen, I think their big guys were there to help. I think their team defense was just so much stronger than our team offense was. I'm sure they had a focus on Marcus because he played very well against them last year. I don't know what the stat sheet was in the first game at our place that we won, but in the tournament he had 27. But he was 9 for 20 in that game. And so I think they made him an emphasis, but I don't think it was any one guy in particular. I mean, we run an out-of-bounds play that we think we're going to get Marcus a great shot, and James Robinson came out and denied the pass to our feeder, and so we couldn't get into it. And so there were a lot of simple things like that, but I think defensively, you know, I can't grade his team defensively because I don't know what he wants them to do, but my guess is that Jamie will feel like his defense was pretty good.
Coach, I know you always want guys to get out and shoot, but it seems like you have less tolerance when they're giving them so much in the middle.
Yeah, you know, because it's easier to guard a smaller area, you know, because you got all kinds of people. But they did spread us really well, and you know, they run the ball screens, they run the dribble handoff, they come out and big guy screen. I mean, the last possession of the first half, I mean, there was a timeout. All right, and we said, okay, we're going to do this, and if we decide to double, if I send somebody at them, let's make sure we get a good double team and make sure we get a goaltender. And we weren't going to really go run off somebody, but it was a situation that we got a reset of the clock, and now it gets down inside 10, and so we decided to double. And so we double, and we don't get a tight double, so the guy steps right through and throws, and then they go straight to the basket and get a layup. So I can assure you that was not our plan. And, but that's bad coaching. You got to be able to get guys to do what you want to do on game day.
Coach, Shelton Jeter's been coming on as of late. Got his first start today, getting a lot of minutes the last 4 games. What kind of issues did he pose for you offensively?
Well, are you sure it was his first start? I thought he started the last game, but I'll take your word
no,
for
he
it.
did start the last game. I apologize.
You don't have to apologize. I'm just like this first damn time I've been right all day. You know, 10 of 14, only 2 turnovers, 35 minutes. That's a pretty impressive line. You know, against, was it Syracuse that he had 16 or 18, something like that? I've always told all our guys, when you come off the bench, add something. You know, give us something in a positive. And they made a change in their starting lineup, put him in there. I think 2 games ago I said, or maybe it was just last game in this one, but he did some good things, made a bunch of shots, but I think he's a scorer. And I think at least that's what he showed me in the Syracuse game and in today's game.
Anybody else?
Pitt made 6 of their 8 3-pointers in the first half. I guess, what did you guys do differently in the second half to limit them to only 2?
When they're getting 4-footers, why shoot a 20-footer? You know, because every possession early in the second half, they were getting 4-footer to 10-footer. I used to think a lot of times when I had teams that are players that didn't shoot it very well, if we made some in the first half, sometimes it's fool's goal. I hope that they wouldn't shoot as many in the second half. You know, but count your blessings that you made those. But I think in the they have one play that's almost identical to the play that we ran when I was on the freshman team 100 years ago. And we ran it every year with Coach Smith, and they ran the same play, and they kept getting the ball 3 feet from the basket on that. So I'd just say that it's probably the fact that they were getting what they wanted and didn't have to shoot the threes.
Their big guys did a good job of scoring inside today, but we really didn't pressure them or challenge them defensively to make them feel us. You know, we always talk about, you know, make your guy feel you on defense, and we didn't have any of that today.
What happened at halftime? Who spoke and what was said?
Coach spoke, he told us we need to play better. Still plenty of time. We weren't really worried about the time or score. We just needed to come out and play better defensively, and we didn't do that.
In these last 3 losses, second halves, you weren't as bad maybe in the second half today as the first half, but still not good second half. What do you attribute that to?
Well, today I wasn't really, that was not what it was about. It was more about us not playing complete games defensively. So I'm not sure. The second half was no different than the first half.
But there's come out in these losses, and you think that if there was some adjustments to make or whatever you guys could do to change things around, it wasn't the case in these last 3 games, and obviously today. Do you have an explanation for that?
I think each game you have to treat differently. There's a lot different said in the Louisville game than there was in this game. There's a lot different in the Virginia game. There's a lot different in the Boston College game. So it's not necessarily one theme that keeps recurring. So I don't know.